Fuzzy, we're gonna have to talk. I go AFK for 5 minutes to take care of something, and I come back, and Fuzzy Cub has killed me. Well, it's on now, Fuzzy. Hello, and welcome back to Vault Hunters. So, I've been working very, very hard, if you cannot tell, on all kinds of building here lately. I really haven't ran a ton of vaults. I've ran some here and there, and we get people building absolutely everywhere. This place just looks incredible. This is interesting. Anyway, so I've been working very hard at building up my base, and we're going to pop into free cam here a little bit, and you're going to see something behind my base too that kind of came to my surprise. So in free cam here, it's me standing there. I've worked a little bit on the entranceway. I'm going to be building this out. This season I have been primarily just building freehand. I've not been planning builds. I've not been schematicking things, nothing like that. I'm just going. So number one, I have built up the bottom of my floating island. Inside here is the chests that I had before. Just removed the little box I had around them, and now it's a little bit bigger. You can see my simple storage stuff here as well. My chest there. Down here, I've worked on more quests, and I've unlocked some more of these items and placed them down. Again, Vault Forge. I mean, normal things that you'd expect in Vault Hunters. Nothing wild there. And then I went ahead and finished out the floor and the ceiling, and I've worked on the outside some a little bit. Now, this is not its final form, but this is just kind of where I've ended up with. I finished up this room on the top, and this has turned into my ore storage. So I'm just storing all of my ores and stuff up in here right now. Eventually, this may become more of a processing center, depending on which mod I get into. It's probably going to be something like Create. I may not do Mechanism this time around, because that's what I did last time. And, of course, the front kind of looks like a face. Thought it was kind of cool. Again, nothing's finished yet, just kind of what it is. And then back here was my mob farm. Well, actually, still is my mob farm. If we sneak inside here, it still is in here. A gigantic thank you to Sturcat and Fuzzy Cub. Please go and visit their channels. And this is some amazing work that they put together in actually a relatively small amount of time. And so they thought my mob farm was ugly. So they went ahead and, covered it up for me. So this thing looks absolutely incredible, and I'm super excited to have this. So over here, I've also planted some trees. Went ahead and finished a lot of this out, just around the outside here, make it look a little bit more, I don't know, garden-y, I guess you'd say, when you walk back out of the back of the base here and into the garden, which I think is kind of neat. So again, still farms, everything else kind of going strong in through there. Pop back over to regular here. So yeah, this has kind of been what I've been working on here in the past couple days, mostly just building, and a lot of it I don't have any plan for. I'm just hopping on and starting to build. So not much I could really necessarily record with that, because it's kind of back and forth and up and down and left and right and all this. So, that's kind of how this happens. This is an amazing bridge. Again, Sturcat and Fuzzy creation here. A little bit better than my single wide dirt path that I had. And in the mob farm, we've actually modified it a good little bit as well. So Sturcat put some drawers in here for us, so we can store the stuff here. We got a pretty good stock of gunpowder and a good stock of bones for bone meal. So all great stuff. And as you can see, the mobs are still coming down through. And one of the things that Fuzzy had a really good idea for was to turn this into something like an XP grinder of some sort. So right now, the mobs just fall down, they instantly die. There are campfires in here, and we can pop into free cam to see the campfires. There are campfires in there, so if something doesn't die from the fall damage, such as a witch, or sometimes these mobs will have armor on, and they'll have feather falling on the boots, and they won't die immediately. So the campfires just kind of ensure the death, I guess you would say, coming down through. But one of the things I wanted to do is to get some XP from it. You can see I have my good old-fashioned axe here, diamond axe in my left hand. And so what we did is put in some pistons. So now all the mobs will stop here, which is, I think, 1 or 2 blocks higher than the thing. So now they should be down to like 1 health apiece. So they should all be just one-hit kills when they fall down. So they fall down through here. Some of them die immediately. Some of them don't. But this gap is just big enough that I can swing my sword through and I can kill them. And so when the player kills them, you end up with XP drops, which you don't normally get. Now, every now and then, since the drops do just kind of sit there, you gotta cycle the pistons there a little bit, and it'll drop all the items down, and they'll start filling in these here. But we're also getting a bunch of bows and boots and things like that that we really don't need. So I may put in like a void chest or something that you can throw stuff into, and it'll just kind of dispense it down into the void down below us there. So I may do something like that, because we will have a lot of junk coming from this if we do the player kill route. But I really like having the XP, because this axe was almost dead, and I put mending on it, and I have been able to heal it back up. So that's been a very nice thing to have. Now, there is a couple problems with this farm. Number one is mob movement. So right now, I mean, there's a couple of people online. Well, actually, it's just me, Monocle. But so we don't have a ton of spawning, but they do one of two things. Number one, they'll get down on here and they'll just start jumping right at the edge. Sometimes they'll fall. Sometimes they won't. Sometimes they'll just sit around. And one of the things that I was thinking is I could make this a little bit more efficient if we moved them with something other than water. The zombies are the worst offenders here, because they will get there and they'll just sit there and jump on the edge forever. And the slower they die, the longer it takes for more mobs to spawn in. So I'm kind of stuck. You know, every now and then you'll get into a situation where everything's just kind of standing around. They're not walking, they're not moving, and they get stuck here on the edge and they just sit here. And you can see I have quite a bit of mobs down here all bound up, so I need to get in here and just whack a couple times and get some XP out of these people. But Fuzzy has provided a sweeping edge sword over here. Now, my sword I have here has chaining, so it's not too bad. But if you don't have a chaining sword, you're just kind of hitting them one at a time, and sometimes they'll get stuck towards the back, like that guy back there, and you just can't reach them. And so that's a bit annoying. But the sweeping edge will get them if you get one that falls closer to you, and then it'll just kind of chain back towards it. Same with the chaining, I guess, is the same principle. And again, every now and then we'll just flip the switch and let the drops come, and now you can see they're flowing into the chests here. So yeah, this is the mob farm. This is a good starter mob farm, and I think it just looks absolutely incredible when you look at this thing. This thing is incredible. So other changes, I showed you my ore room up here. I was able to acquire quite a few ores. Almost all of these ores came from 2 vaults. One of those vaults I just ran, it was just a casual vault just running by myself, nothing fancy, not even recordable kind of deal. But I came across a crystal cave room, and the crystal cave was chock full of all of this stuff. I was able to get a hold of, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 7 black opal ore, which is what we need for that black chromatic steel, and a bunch of the other pog gems. I think I probably, assuming I get at least a 1 drop from all of these, like the Ashium and Sparkletine and stuff like that, and the Escalium especially, if I get at least a 1 drop, I have enough to make a pog. And there's all kinds of cool stuff that I can make with a pog. You'll also see I have 1 unspent knowledge point up in the upper right-hand corner, and I probably have enough stuff in here to make it so I can get a few more. How many could I get? That's a total of 27. Yeah, in theory, I could get up to 3 more knowledge stars, which is 4, which would be enough for something like refined storage, which is what I really wanted to go with to get rid of the simple storage thing, because there's so many limitations. I really like the crafting table and stuff like that you get with refined storage. You can just basically craft right out of your inventory. Saves you so much time. It's awesome. But in order to use that, I need some sort of power. And power would be great to have. It does cost 5. Power would be great, but the problem with power is there's some things that I think I would have trouble getting to be able to make the items, because we don't really have the end available to us right now. Beginning of the year we will, but as of right now we don't have the end available to us, so I can't go get some of the stuff that I think I need to make like the dielectric paste and stuff like that. So I'm interested to see how we're going to be able to find power for things. I could use something like the iron furnaces and then maybe make a big bamboo farm and, you know, get stuff that way, but the iron generators is not a very good one to go with. So I know in the past I have kind of always gone with Mechanism for my big mod that I do. And the main reason for that is I'm very comfortable with it. Oh, I'm getting chased by phantoms. I know Mechanism really well. I know what all the machines do. I know how to make them. You know, I know all of that kind of stuff. So what I think I want to do this season is I want to take myself and give myself a little bit more of a challenge. So I think I'm going to go the create route. Now, let's just fly on down here, down to Vert's base. And I don't want to give too much away, so please go and visit Vert's channel. But I did want to look at a couple specific things. And one of which being Vert has create. So there's a lot of stuff that I don't fully understand with this, and it's going to require some research and some things like that to be able to figure this out. But I know you can do a lot of processing, like you can process your ores. Like I think that's what these crushing wheels are for here. And it looks like there's all kinds of really cool stuff happening, and I don't understand any of it. But it looks like this here is where we could process. Well, there's lava there and an encased fan, so that tells me that we're smelting items, maybe? So there's a lot with Create that I don't fully understand, and I would like to get to know Create a little bit better. And, wow, I mean, cobblestone? You can generate cobblestone with Create? Yeah, see, like a lot of this stuff is just really interesting, and I don't fully know how to use any of it yet. So if you guys think I should go with Create for my big mod this season, please let me know down in the comments. If you would like to see me do Mechanism again, please let me know that as well, because I think both of those could be, I mean, I love both of those mods. So I don't know how to, that's an elevator. So, you know, I want to be able to, I don't like that. Oh, there he is. Okay, I heard him. I thought you were some sort of raid happening. So yeah, I just want to know what you guys would like to see more of. Would you like to see more Create? Would you like to see more Mechanism? Or would you like me to go with neither of those? I could always go with thermal expansion. Yeah, I don't think that has everything in it that I want. And Botania has been very limited in Vault Hunters. So there's not a whole lot I can really do with Botania. So, yeah, there's one of those. I don't know if that's a really viable option for like a big mod, because as soon as I get one of these, it increases the cost of the other ones by 12. So I kind of want to make whatever one I choose the main one. So I think it's going to be either Mechanism or Create. And I'm thinking Create, but you guys let me know in the comments. So I've also been really working on my quests, and we can scroll down to the bottom and see which ones I've done. I have done all of these quests. Most of these are pretty simple. This is just like you take one skill and then you craft your first crystal and then you enchant your stuff. So I've went through most of these. The ones that I've gone through that were a little more difficult, something like the alchemy table. Now, I did kind of cheese my way past this one because someone else, I believe it was Fuzzy, also has an alchemy table. And so I just went over and picked up his alchemy table and then put it back down. And that did give me the ability to claim this quest. So went through there, I got my more XP, I crafted a burger, I crafted the Elixir Vault Seal, and I actually have it in here. I haven't ran it yet. It's a level 15 Elixir Rush, which I'm super excited about. But I also, before I get too far, I'm going to grab this gear here. But I've also gone through and finished up a few more other ones as well. There's not that many left. I don't have that many left. My next one that I have is basically reach level 20. And level 21 gives me a knowledge star, which is awesome, and 10 orbs of regret. I can't say that very quickly. But sadly, I can't actually look to see what these next ones are. Some of these look very interesting, and they look like they may be difficult, especially towards some of these end ones here. So, but yeah, so I'm going through these, and these are basically just free stuff. You know, they are free things. And so I want to do the quests. I am still under level 20. I am level 16 right now, just barely 16. And with level 16, the mobs are getting harder, the vaults are getting harder, but I'm also having trouble with gaining a lot of XP very, very quickly. And so when I gain XP too quickly, then I end up with, you know, a situation where I'm kind of out-leveling myself and my gear. So now that we're level 15, I have a whole bunch of gear here in my inventory, and I'm going to try to maybe organize a little bit of this stuff here, just so I know what's where. But yeah, all the gear I have in here, I have an unidentified focus which I didn't know was a thing, but that's cool. And then I have some wands, a helmet, boots. I do have a pair of Rare Plus level 14 boots, shield, and some other stuff, some swords. And we're going to borrow, I don't know, Ozone's identification stand. And if I just right-click this, it should identify all of my gear all at once. There we go. So everything's been identified, and as you can see, I have quite a few things down there on the bottom. So let's head back over to our base, and let's take a look at some of these items. All right, everyone, that's going to be it for today's episode. A little bit shorter today, but that's okay. I appreciate you all for tagging along, and I will see you all on the next episode.